Meanwhile, the crypto market is powering through, with Bitcoin touching new all-time highs this week following President-elect Donald Trump's election victory. And joining me now as we unpack the moves playing out in that market is Luno's SA country manager, Christo de Wit. Thank you so much for your time, Christo. Now, is this ascent that we're seeing now just another stage in a bull market that was already in existence?
I think if we look at the 2024 in its entirety, it's given indications of a bull market, but it has been relatively muted. We've seen a lot of optimism. There's a lot of growth coming out of 2023, but definitely this last week with the excitement in the industry over the election of Donald Trump, who is a very pro-crypto candidate, we see that the bull market has definitely picked up a lot of speed. Now, whether or not this is going to die down or ease out over the next few days or weeks, I think time will tell. But at the moment, very, very exciting times where Bitcoin has reached an all-time high, both in dollar value and, of course, then in rand value as well.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about Donald Trump being pro-crypto. What exactly is it about his victory that crypto investors are banking on? What exactly has he promised?
So Donald Trump has come on board, and during his campaign trail, he, I think, identified that the crypto community and the crypto industry is an industry and a following that he can really resonate with. And he's come forward to say that, listen, over the last 4 years in the Biden administration, there's been a lot of pushback on the crypto industry. If we just look at the SEC in the US, who's chaired by Gary Gensler, who is very against cryptocurrency, has filed many lawsuits against cryptocurrency players and industry leaders. We've seen that Donald Trump has done exactly the opposite, whereas he said, well, the first thing he wants to do is get rid of Gary Gensler and hire a more pro-crypto head of the SEC in the United States. We also saw that he mentioned that he would propose to have Bitcoin reserves and have a Bitcoin reserve fund in the US, whereas all crypto confiscated from money laundering and illicit funds, he would, rather than sell that cryptocurrency and that Bitcoin, he would keep it as part of a Bitcoin reserve. And that then also indicates that he might accumulate, and the US government might accumulate more Bitcoin almost on their balance sheet. So these are very positive indicators signaling that there is regulatory ease going into the crypto industry, that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are viewed in a more favorable light. And that sent the waves of optimism through the industry. And we are seeing this continued spike in the price, not only isolated to Bitcoin, but across the board in all other major cryptocurrencies as well.
Yeah, actually, I was about to ask that if the other cryptocurrencies have actually risen in the same magnitude as Bitcoin.
So I think there's a few outliers as well. Bitcoin obviously being the biggest cryptocurrency by market cap, and we've seen that significant rally. I think if I just look over the past week, Bitcoin has risen more than 18%. If I look over the last month, more than 35% have grown. But then you look at other cryptocurrencies, and I think one to call out here specifically is the cryptocurrency Dogecoin, which we know is quite renowned for Elon Musk getting behind Dogecoin. Elon Musk has played a crucial role in Donald Trump's campaign trail as well. And Donald Trump even appointing Elon Musk to a government position yesterday or the day before. That has sent the support for Dogecoin significantly higher, with the token being up more than 250% over the last month.
It's actually quite interesting because you see there, because obviously Elon Musk is now going to be heading up the Department of Government Efficiency, that is DOGE, which is like Dogecoin, and you kind of wonder, people are linking that. Yeah, it's quite interesting what's happening here and really what is boosting investor sentiment. Well, talking about this ascent, Christo, what is the next psychological level that you are looking at here?
I think the 90,000 level was a very, very big resistance level, which the Bitcoin obviously price has surpassed. It touched on the 93,000. Some inflation data came into the US that came in hotter than expected. The Bitcoin price retracted just slightly. I think the next important resistance level will be 95,000. If it can meet that $95,000 resistance level, then who knows? $100,000 might be the next step. But I think it all depends on how all of this play out in the longer term, and if we see if Donald Trump is actually holding to the promises he made on the campaign trail, and if this then is the green light for a more favorable crypto regime in the US.
Christo, I mean, there were certain movements that were being made in the regulatory space before Donald Trump's election into president. Are those fundamentals that were kind of supporting Bitcoin still intact as much as we kind of had a muted bull market before?
I think what we're seeing is the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs in January was definitely a watershed moment for the industry. That allowed a lot of institutional capital to flow into the space. We then also had the Bitcoin halving that happened earlier this year on a technological front, which is quite significant for the industry. But I definitely see those regulatory approvals and in terms of the institutional capital that can now flow into the industry, just further allowing more investment, positive investment sentiment, and will lay the foundation for further clarity on the crypto industry. I think another significant call out here is Donald Trump's vice president candidate, J.D. Vance, who is a big proponent of the cryptocurrency industry. We know that he holds a significant amount of cryptocurrency as well, and he has been quite outspoken on how he sees the cryptocurrency should be regulated in the US, and it is in complete contrast to how the SEC is currently viewing it. So I definitely think over the next 6 to 12 months will be quite interesting to keep and see how the US is approaching this. I think also news coming from the UK is that they are looking at altering and changing their approach to cryptocurrency on the back of Trump's win and their more favorable view of it. So definitely, I think a lot of optimism and excitement in the industry, and you can really see that not only by the price, but in the level of communication and media attention that it's getting at the moment.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and giving us insights into the latest developments of the crypto market. Christo, that was Christo de Wit from Luno.